with a project about gypsies?
I came up with Choose Gypsyland because it's one of a number of projects that I've done that are about gypsies or Roma people, because I am an English Romani gypsy. So it's not only just about artwork or working with a particular community, it's the community that I come from.
And don't people get offended by your questions because you ask like personal questions? So.
Well, I think it's up to the questions that are here that have been used for this particular project. This was a different way of working. So I put the questions on my Facebook page and I text them to some people as well, and I also put them on to Gypsyland Facebook page. And it was up to individual people whether they wanted to answer them or not. So there was no pressure on anyone to. I didn't sort of have someone sitting in the chair opposite me and I was like asking them one question after another. It was up to people if they wanted to answer them or not.
And how do you link all those questions together so it makes people think about gypsies?
They are a number of questions. There were more questions because they came from a dinner that we organised. There were originally probably about 25 questions, so I just picked out some of the questions because I thought they were actually quite appropriate to what I wanted to talk about. And also the other idea is it makes other people think about their own, say, like who owns the land, or when we're talking about contested space. Contested space has always been a difficult place for Gypsy and Romani people because very often people don't want them living there. But this is now becoming a problem for lots of other people as well. So it's a way of including everyone in a conversation, and everyone maybe has an answer to the question as well, because not all of these questions were answered by Gypsy and Romani people, they were also answered by lots of different types of people.
And do you feel like people think of you in a different way when you say that you are a gypsy?
Yes, they do. For lots of different reasons. From saying that I can't be a gypsy because I've gone to college and I'm educated, because people generally think that gypsies aren't educated people, which is actually quite an insult.
Do people argue when you ask them questions, like personal questions, like who owns the land, because they interpret it as their own answer, and then do they like argue with each other?
Sometimes people will, but I think often out of a heated discussion, let's not say an argument, let's say a heated discussion, lots of good things can come out of that. And often people can start with a bit of an argument, but hopefully if they've got enough common sense and enough goodwill, then they will actually end up being able to talk about it properly without it being an argument.
Do people get offended by calling them gypsies?
It depends where you are in the world. Because in some countries it's seen as being what would be a negative or a derogatory term. So it just depends which country you're in. But I also think it's up to the individual person you're talking to. So if someone's happy to be called a gypsy, then they should be able to call themselves that if they want to, the same as they should be able to call themselves a Roma or Sinti or Romani Chow or Traveller. I think it's up to the individual person. I don't think anyone should tell anybody what they should be called.
And are you proud of who you are?
I'm very proud of who I am, because my grandmother taught herself to read and write because of problems at school and not being able to go to school, and that's even here in the UK. So I'm proud of my family and what they've managed to achieve.
Why did you choose to do your project about gypsies and not other culture?
Because it's my own culture, and for too many years, in fact centuries, as a group of people, our culture has been always represented by somebody else and not by us, and it's time for that to change.
How long have you been working on this project?
Well, it's one of many projects that I've done, and I'd say personally I've been working on it my whole life.
Are you embarrassed of what you are?
I'm certainly not embarrassed of what I am.
Do you like the fact that you're a gypsy or not?
I love it, and I wouldn't be anything else.
Does it take a long time to create a project about gypsies?
It's easier probably for me because it's who I am. So I have a different place to start from. So I think that probably it's part of who I am. My work's quite personal as well, so it's often my personal viewpoint is in here as well as other people's viewpoints as well.
Is it good working on your own or like lots of people?
I like to do both things. I mean, it's really nice, isn't it, to be working as a group of people. I mean, I'm sure everyone likes working with other people at times, but also we all like to have a little bit of time to ourselves, don't we? So it's good to do both.
Is it good to be a gypsy? Is it the same life as being no gypsy?
It's probably very different. I think for a lot of people, the flexibility of being able to be very diverse in what you can do, and also your ability to be able to adapt from situation to situation very quickly, having to move maybe from place to place or do a completely different job, but be able to do it very quickly and adjust in those situations. I think there's quite a lot of skills there that are sort of unrecognised.
Is your life hard?
I wouldn't say it's hard because I'm lucky enough to be doing what I really love doing, so I don't think my life's hard at all.